This is where episode 5 starts. Lee, bitten, is saddened by the loss of Clementine. This is where all your choices have been adding up to, the relationships that you've built and destroyed, the people you've left behind and allowed to live. It all adds up here. A similar situation happened at the beginning of episode 5, where everyone decides if they'll go with Lee or his journey to find Clementine. It's like I said, it will all depend on what choices you made. These choices aren't just whether or not you were nice to them, but actual judgments of your character as a moral agent. Due to the complexity of our choices, Lee being bit isn't an automatic death sentence. If you give up Vernon and the crew, then cutting off his arm and bandaging it wouldn't cause as much time. If you didn't, that leaves you down to the original ending where you find that Vernon and his crew left. In the original game, your group is pretty much broken. They're still together, but they're wounded and you're wounded as well, and you're pretty much confused as to where to go next. Being bitten and going back to Crawford will only lead to more problems that could fuck you up in the worst way. If you go back, Crawford could very well ask for your execution, due to the fact that he knows that you're very likely to die if you have his weapons. He knows that you're a threat and just a waste. With this, Lee and his possible company have to avoid the herd and Crawford's men, making that ally useless. Lee's group eventually has to start finding refuge in abandoned houses and eventually get stuck up in the attic. Now in the original game, the reason why they found their way out of the attic in time was because Lee was falling in and out of consciousness, making it apparent that he had no time left. The thing about our version of the game is that depending on your choices, Lee probably doesn't pass out like he does in the original game. In the original game, it's heavily implied that he died from blood loss if he cut off his arm, but if you sold out the cancer group, him passing out due to blood loss would not make any sense. It will be a lot harder for the group to figure out how you get out of the attic due to these circumstances. Lee and his possible company eventually find a way out. The group starts to thin out due to them either being separated or being killed on their way. In this episode, not saving a character in time will result in their permanent deaths. This only drives home the fact that this episode matters the most in the end. We finally reach the Marsh House, the last stage of the game. Everything is culminating up to this point. This is where we get the scene of Lee being a badass and going through the horde of walkers. This is the only option. In our version, it's obviously different. If you have heavy weaponry, getting through the horde will be a lot easier and a lot more safer than just going willy-nilly. You'll be equipped with armor and will be able to take down the zombies a lot quicker and easier. If you don't have the armor, however, you'd have to go at it alone and face off between the horde. Then, we finally reach the stranger. He's been following us the entire time without any of us knowing, just trying to get at Clementine due to the stuff that we've exposed her to. I liken the introduction of the stranger to the battle of the Master in Fallout 1. We're meeting the person who has caused a great amount of trouble to us and we are ready for almost anything that goes down. We've been through hell just to get here. In the original game, the stranger is depicted as a man bent on trying to toy and eventually kill Lee due to the pain that he has brought him, and that's the only option that's available to us. In our game, when we sit and talk to the stranger, we understand why he's so angry with us, and why he thinks what we're doing is wrong. Not in a simplistic way that Telltale drew out, but in a way that's something like a concerned guardian would say, almost like Lee himself. He wants to kill you and take Clementine, but you can talk him down. You can try to convince him about your actions, and that these actions have kept you and your group alive. You can even point out his mistakes when it came to taking care of his family. Talking him down just won't depend on your words. If your choices swing too much in one direction, he has already made up his mind. But if you're in the middle, or at least slightly not too far gone to one point in the spectrum, then you can have a chance to solve this peacefully. Convincing him that he's mentally unstable and unfit to take care of Clementine will result in his suicide, and wish a good luck to you. If your moral choices lean more on the good side of things, it will be easier to get him to kill himself, but if you swing too much to the bad, it will result in him getting more aggressive, and at a point makes it impossible for you to talk him down. If you've been on the bad side for a while, you'll have to fight, which will result in him firing off his gun multiple times. You eventually kill him though. If you manage to stay on the more neutral or good side and still fight with him, he'll be a little less aggressive, making him slightly easier to fight off. Clementine would emerge from the other side of the room. It would find out that you can use zombie guts as camo in order to leave the motel. This is where the ending comes back into play. Depending on the choices you made throughout the game, the endings for your adventures can be wildly different from just one ending where Lee dies. Ending A. This ending will result in something similar to how Telltale ended the original game. Lee would pass out, and Clementine would have to drag him to the police station, where he meets his fate. Ending B. Having okay karma. You choosing to side with Crawford. You tell Clementine you're not looking for her parents. Kenny is dead. The result? This ending would have Lee and Clementine make it out of the situation and get out of the March house. While Lee takes down multiple walkers with a machine gun, Clementine finds her dead parents and realizes that her quest to find them was in vain. They walk out of the city in search of their surviving group members, not knowing what the future will hold for them next. Ending C. Having bad karma. You choosing to side with Crawford. Tell Clementine you're not looking for her parents. Kenny is alive. You fight with a stranger who's hell-bent on seeing you die due to your actions. You manage to get the upper hand to kill him. Clementine emerges from the room. Lee expects to see her scared expression as he goes in to hug her, but something is wrong. Lee turns around to find that one of the bullets the stranger shot ended up in Clementine's stomach. She collapses and starts to cry. Lee picks her up and starts to carry her out of the room. Lee manages to find a safe opening for him and Clementine to walk in. While walking, Lee tries to comfort Clementine the best that he can, but the pain she is feeling is simply too much. While walking, Clementine succumbs to her injuries and dies in Lee's arms. Lee still walks with her deceased body and cries as he realizes she has taken her last breath. I at first created this video as an analysis piece, something that picks apart the aspects of the game, but it soon evolved into what I felt the game should have been instead of what it is. Let me tell you something, I really like The Walking Dead because it was the first to kind of bring about the zombie survival story to a new audience, and I actually like Telltale's game series on the matter, but it just seems like Telltale didn't really go in the places it could have gone. The game is just kind of one note, nothing really changes nor anything is really done for that matter. It always ends the same way no matter what, and it just makes it feel very linear. To give Telltale credit, they did kind of fix this in the later seasons, with season 3 and 4 excelling in Department of Choices matter, but I think this should have been solved at the jump than later, because it would have made season 1 a masterpiece. What do you guys think? Do you guys like my version of The Walking Dead, or do you guys like Telltale's version of The Walking Dead? Tell me in the comments below. Alright, I'll see you guys later, like and subscribe, and bye. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a like, and if you like any more of my content, subscribe.